Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. Thank you for your patience. We were having a little bit of trouble on the
Yeah.
technical side on our end, but we won't leave you hanging. We, of course, are still here. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into our big headlines for today. First of all, we do have new information on the arson in Boonville we told you about earlier this month. Now, it happened March 4th in the 300 block of West Main Street. Officials say witnesses reported seeing someone running from the home after the fire started. Court records show a warrant was issued for 38-year-old Aaron Williams.
Yeah, today he was arrested and booked into jail on a $4,000 cash bond. An initial hearing for Williams is set for Friday morning. Now, the Indiana State Fire Marshal is currently still investigating that arson. They tell us that they're not going to be releasing any more information. But that was a new update to that story we had a couple weeks ago, so we wanted to make sure we brought that to you this afternoon. Just came into our newsroom.
Now, another thing that we are kind of keeping our eye on, especially considering how cold things have been this week, Indiana conservation officers rescued two people stranded in freezing floodwater. DNR officials say they received a call for help yesterday afternoon from someone who tried driving through floodwater in Pike County. The caller told officers their truck was filling up with water, which had reached the door handles. The people crawled out and made their way to the top of the truck.
Yeah, thankfully, the Pike County Sheriff's Office was able to use a drone to find them along River Road near Dodge City. The victims were reached safely by boat and taken onto dry land. DNR officials say the two people were okay. They were treated and they left that scene unharmed. Thankfully, definitely a scary situation there. They always say, turn around, don't drown if you see the high water.
Now, I know we always say those same things whenever these things happen. This is why you really do need to take it seriously because it can get pretty dangerous. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, for our final headline today, right now in Illinois, the polls just opened for the 2026 primary election. Now, this is your chance to decide who you want to represent several statewide offices, including governor, secretary of state, and more. Now, it's also your chance to vote on several things at the county level. For people in Wayne County, Democrats and Republicans will be asked a yes or no question. It's regarding a federal program involving money for schools.
Yeah, there are also multiple races on the ballot in Wayne County, like the county clerk, coroner, and treasurer. In Wabash County, people will vote for a new county commissioner and regional superintendent of schools. And the White County Sheriff is also on the ballot this year. So we do have all of the names and races that you will see in the Illinois primary election on our website, 14news.com. The polls will close tonight at 7.
Well, that is going to round things out for us here on the news side of things, but on perhaps something more people are watching out for. It is another very cold day with the hope that maybe spring weather will return sometime in the not too distant future. But on the news side, of course, be sure to circle back for 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and of course 10.
All right, and the woman of the hour who has all the information for us, meteorologist Arden Gregory, who will be right back with the Check At Your Forecast right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. afternoon and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm meteorologist Arden Gregory. This is a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. Today we're way down here in the 20s and 30s. Our highs today are below even the normal lows for this time of year. But moving forward, warmer weather is on the way. We've got a big warm up over the next few days thanks to a warm front that's going to move through the tri-state tonight. However, as that warm front moves through, we also have a chance of some rain showers and maybe even some snow showers too. If this thing will progress, I tell you what, sometimes we are having a lot of technical difficulties today. It's just been locking up on us. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's start with what's going on out there right now. It is mostly sunny across the tri-state. Now that sunshine's not doing a whole lot to warm us up, but it is at least mostly sunny. We do expect some clouds off to the west to start to build into the tri-state over the next few hours though. So this afternoon mostly sunny. By this evening though, the clouds start to build in. Overnight then, mainly after 10 or 11 p.m., we start to see some very spotty snow showers popping up there. And then as we get into early Wednesday morning, there is a better chance of some scattered rain and snow. Now I say rain and snow because actually we're going to be warming back up by tomorrow morning. This warm front is moving through overnight tonight, so our temperatures will fall this evening. Then they'll start to warm back up as we get into Wednesday morning, and this warm air starts to flow in from the south. So by the time these showers are moving through early Wednesday, we'll be hovering right around the freezing point. So it may be a little bit of wet snow or maybe some cold rain scattered across the tri-state Wednesday morning. Those showers, whether it's rain, snow, or a little bit of both, will then push off to the east around mid-morning on Wednesday. By lunchtime then, I think we'll be dry, and then we'll start to see some clearing. And by Wednesday afternoon, it will be mostly sunny, warm air flowing in from the southwest. This time tomorrow, it'll probably be 20-25 degrees warmer than it is out there right now. Now, that sunshine doesn't stick with us forever. We do cloud back up Wednesday night, and then there is another chance of some light spotty rain showers Thursday morning as the low pressure system, the center of that low pressure system that's associated with this warm front, pushes through to our north. So we've got some rain snow mix late tonight into Wednesday morning as the warm front swings through. Then as the center of that low pressure system moves through to our north, we may catch a few more spotty rain showers Thursday morning as well. Now don't expect much from this snow. We're talking about very minimal impacts. This will be little to no snow accumulation. So kind of like what we saw yesterday morning. Some of us may get a scattered dusting here or there, but I really don't think we'll see any widespread significant snow accumulation of any kind. Not anticipating a lot of travel problems or anything like that. Just a few wet, slushy snowflakes first thing Wednesday morning. And keep in mind, our temperatures will be on the rise. So as fast as those snowflakes fall, it will then start to warm up, and it will be too warm for any of it to hang around for very long. So even if we do get a little snow Wednesday morning, it won't hang around for very long at all, as our temperatures will then quickly warm above freezing. Speaking of temperatures, it is cold out there today. We're sitting in the upper 20s to low 30s right now. It is 31 in Newburgh and Owensboro, 34 down in Madisonville, but Evansville still sitting at 28. We haven't even broken into the 30s yet today. Moving forward, I do think our temperatures will gradually start to fall back through the 30s and the 20s here. I mentioned that warm front moving through middle of the night tonight. We'll probably hit our low for the night probably sometime around midnight. For some perspective, normally the coldest part of the night is right before sunrise. So usually by about 5-6 a.m., that's the coldest part of the whole night. Instead, we're going to hit our low around midnight. Then that warm front swings through, warm air starts to flow in from the south, and our temperatures will already be back on the rise by tomorrow morning. So that's why we could see that mix of rain and snow. Lows not falling very far. We're only going to dip a couple degrees this evening before we start to then warm back up as we get into Wednesday. First thing Wednesday morning, temperatures will be hovering right around the freezing point, so we could see that spotty mix of rain and or snow. But then by Wednesday afternoon, the sun starts to pop out. We've got winds coming in from the south-southwest, pulling warmer air into the tri-state. That's going to push us into the mid-50s Wednesday afternoon, and then we keep climbing from there. Upper 60s on Thursday. Again, maybe a spotty shower or two Thursday morning, but much like Wednesday, I think we'll get some sun then in the afternoon. Beautiful weather for the weekend. Temperatures climbing back into the 70s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A cold front will move through the tri-state Sunday night. That might bring us a little bit of rain, but it really looks like most of the rain is going to miss us. This is going to be primarily a dry front for us at this point, but maybe some rain Sunday night. Then as that cold front moves through, it does cool us back off a little bit with highs in the mid to upper 50s to start next week. Let's take a look in at the comments here. Good afternoon, Laura, Lori, Brian, Zach. And yeah, Zach's just mentioning the potential for severe weather. It is spring in the tri-state, right? Almost always, if you look far enough down the line, you'll see a potential for some storms. Right now, I'm not seeing any thunderstorms over the next 7 days. If we do manage to get some rain Sunday night, that could include some thunderstorms. But again, it's not looking like we're going to have a whole lot of moisture there, just kind of a sharp drop in our temperatures and an isolated chance at some storms. We may get some storms end of next week, but again, that's really far out to be talking about any kind of detail here. And it's March. We're going to be talking about thunderstorm chances for the next 2 or 3 months. That is just the time of year that we are in now. But at least it comes with some warmer weather, right? I know that after yesterday and today, a lot of folks are kind of done with winter out there. Looking at what the month has brought us so far, it has been a wild ride. Back on the 2nd, we had one kind of cold, dreary day, and then yesterday, the technical high was 41. You may be thinking, I thought it was colder than that. I don't remember getting to 41 yesterday. That was the temperature at midnight. That cold front had just passed through. Temperatures were dropping fast. Technically, the high was 41, but during the day yesterday, we were in the 20s and 30s all day long, and that has been the case again today. As for rainfall, that first week of March was pretty dreary. That's where we had rain essentially every day. We had some thunderstorms middle of last week, and then some thunderstorms again Sunday night here. That did bring us some damaging winds and that big drop in our temperatures. But despite that big drop in our temperatures, on average, our temperatures are still running nearly 10 degrees warmer than you would expect because we've had so many days this month in the 60s, 70s, and even a couple days in the 80s. So really, yesterday and today are the anomalies so far this month where it has been so very cold and much below average. Speaking of being very cold, we're given a record a run for its money today. If you look at the records for St. Patrick's Day, the warmest was in 2012. We got up to 80 degrees that day. That's obviously not the record I'm talking about. But in 1906, the high, not the low, but the high that day was 28. That's how warm it is out there right now. So I'm hoping that we climb a couple more degrees this afternoon, maybe break into the low 30s, but if those temperatures hold steady, we could potentially tie that record for the coldest high temperature. Obviously, not a record that we are hoping to get there. The rainiest St. Patrick's Day, by the way, was back in 1951. We got almost 3 inches of rain that day. And the snowiest was back in 1970. We had more than 8 inches of snow on St. Patrick's Day in 1970. Once we get through today, things are looking up, though. Like I said, it is still very cold out there. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 20s and low 30s this afternoon and into the night tonight. Then that warm front moves through. Does bring us that chance of some spotty rain and snow showers, but again, no significant snow accumulation. And behind that, we really warm up. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 50s tomorrow. That's right where our highs should be this time of year. Then we continue to climb and we go back above normal for the end of the week. Upper 60s Thursday, 70s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mentioned that cold front Sunday night. That brings us an isolated chance of rain, maybe a stray thunderstorm, but really looks like we're going to be lacking moisture. It does bring us a big drop in our temperatures though. Sunday night into Monday, notice those highs and lows very, very close together here. So our temperatures start to drop and then they don't really come back up during the day. Monday and Tuesday then kind of typical March weather, partly cloudy, highs in the mid to upper 50s. The extended outlook then from the middle and end of next week. So we're going from Wednesday, March 25th through the following weekend now does show a trend back toward above average temperatures. So that cold front Sunday night does cool us off kind of back to normal Monday and Tuesday, but then we start to warm back up again, and it looks like toward the end of the week our temperatures will be running warmer than average with near average precipitation. We've got above average precipitation to our north, drier than average conditions to our south, and the tri-state is kind of caught in between. I mentioned before, it does seem like we could have a weather system moving through end of next week that could maybe bring us some thunderstorms. We are currently outlooked from about the boot heel of Missouri, stretching back through Tennessee and Kentucky, including parts of the tri-state, and then on up into New England for the potential for high winds Thursday, March 26th to Friday, March 27th. So again, that's next Thursday and Friday. We're talking a week and a half from now. We could potentially see some high winds, and I think that would be along with that same system I'm talking about that could maybe bring us some rain Thursday, Friday, but again, that would be of next week. So it's way too early to talk details. We're talking about something that's a week and a half from now, but looking at next week, again, we do see that brief cool down Monday, Tuesday. Looks like we'll then warm back up Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe end of next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, somewhere in that window toward the end of next week. We do have the potential for probably a cold front with some rain, maybe some wind, but again, it's all still very fuzzy. This is something that's still several days away. At least we have this weekend to look forward to. That is some beautiful weather right there. So I know it's cold out there today. Just power through. We just have to get through tonight. Then things start trending back up, all right? Not seeing any other questions. Laura's ready for spring weather. Me too. Oh, thank you, Brian. Brian wished me a happy birthday. I am a St. Patrick's Day baby, so some folks are just born lucky, right? And hello, Suzanne. All right, if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons will be back with your updated look at your 14 First Alert forecast on 14 News Tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9. So I hope you'll join him for that. Everybody stay warm tonight, and look forward to some nicer spring weather as we get into the weekend. And hey, it's perfectly timed too, because Friday is actually the spring equinox. So spring weather arriving just in time for the official start of spring. All right, everybody have a great rest of your St. Patrick's Day.